Hi, my name's Dee, your Professor of Woo Woo, and welcome to your special readings for not so much for the eclipse, we're out of the eclipse window now, but for integrating the eclipse energies. We've just had two very potent eclipses. I mean, all eclipses are supposed to be potent, aren't they? But the partial solar eclipse that was in Taurus gave us a great sense of promise. Not so much here's what you could have won, but here's what you can win. Whereas the Scorpio total lunar eclipse is more, and here's what you need to deal with while you're aiming for what you can win. Here's the crap you need to get out of the way. Here's the obstacles you have to overcome. Here's the things you have to let go of. Now, these eclipses, they're not just a 2-week length. As if you look at Dorotheus, he says for a solar eclipse, for each hour of the eclipse, you can assume that chart has power for a year. He's probably not phrased it like that, but it was a 4-hour long eclipse. This was really, really potent. This was very much awakening our minds or our souls or what have you into what we can achieve. Now, again, according to Dorotheus, an hour of a lunar eclipse is a month. I don't know how long the lunar eclipse lasted. I've looked it up a bit and I've forgotten already. I'm not sure I was even successful in finding how long it lasted. So comment down below. But as ever, I apologise that I have not been doing regular monthly readings. We've had some very strong astrology this year, and I have very much been, I'm not going to say been victim to it, because the majority of it has all been good. But I have been buffeted by it or kept busy by it, between day job and out of work commitments as well. It's not left me a huge amount of time for filming. And of course, quick plug, I am working on my course to present through later this year through Bloodstone Studios about angels and demons in the chart and how they can be used for magical purposes and for interpretive purposes as well. But anyway, there is a timestamp down below for if you want to just fast forward past the waffle. But before you do, please listen to this once, because I'm going to say, watch your sun, your moon, and your rising if you know them all. If you've only got time for one, watch your rising. But your sun will be of a great help considering we're talking about eclipses. Ask a question prior to the reading. You'll have enough warning when I stop waffling. But take a moment, think about all of the questions or issues that surround you at the moment, and ask a question. But be aware of all of those questions, because the cards will answer what they please and not necessarily what you or I think is the most important one. But focus on one of the questions because it gives energy to the process. And the more, energy in, energy out. So obviously, all that good YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe if you like it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. Oh yes, the other thing that kept me away from the readings was studying my astrology and learning the astrology, which, still working on that. Got distracted by angels and demons, so still working on my basic astrology. But as you can see from my bi-weekly videos with David, I'm getting there. Another 6 years, I'll be fine. Can't think of anything else. Please do comment down below if you've already had an effect from these eclipses. And so I will bring the readings up. So here's your timestamp, and we'll shoot. So it's the same intro for all of them. Next time you watch this, fast forward through it and just go to the timestamp if you watch your more than one reading. All right, see you in a moment. Okay, Aquarius, this eclipse happened, or these eclipses, sorry, happened in your 4th and 10th houses, in order, if I remember correctly. And this is a really interesting reading. because it seems to be, even though it's saying the same thing, there's so many ways you could interpret what this is actually saying to me or to us. We start with the Magician, clarified by the Ace of Wands. So I've got this feeling of something that you are bringing into being, something that you are wishing into being, something that you are working towards taking control, taking action to bring it into being. But what stands in its way, what stands in its way in a way is associated with what the value of what you are trying to create, what the value of it actually is. I think this is going to be one of those readings where it's telling you to adhere to all your spiritual values and all that sort of thing, because I feel like there's a lot of change going on, and things around you are moving so fast that it may be hard to hold on to something that doesn't quite have the value that you would like it to have. I think might be one way of putting it. Because what we have to work with at the bottom here, before I say what Spirit's bringing in, we've got the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So there's a real good chance that you're going to get what you're asking for or what you're trying to create. However, this is clarified by the moon. So is it all that? Or is it something that will be cyclical? Is it something that will come and go and come and go? I'm rather feeling like it's, you find out that your wish has been fulfilled, but there's sort of that sense of, is that it? And the reason with is that it reaction all depends on what value what you were trying to wish into being actually holds. There's an element of karmic return here. The other thing is that what you are trying to bring into being may rely on the beneficence of someone else. Like, for instance, if you're trying to fund a business, you want the bank to say yes to the startup loan, that sort of thing, or somebody giving you something, whether it's information, whether it's money, whether it's just a platform to speak, maybe. So this is a lot of ones here. It's more, or giving you the space to act, I want to say, more than the platform to speak. Because it's been slow progress in the past. And I feel that whatever it is that you may be committed to at the moment, other people have been a little bit wishy-washy. You know, they've not really paid attention, or they've been a bit self-indulgent. Of course, this could be you being a little bit self-indulgent and a little bit wishy-washy and like saying, well, I want to create this thing, but yeah, I'll just watch Coronation Street first. But there is, Spirit is bringing in the Knight of Cups. So there's a beautiful idea being presented to you, or a beautiful offer, or a love offer even. One that is quite far-reaching. I'm very much drawn to, I don't know who this is. I should probably look it up in a minute. But the hawk landing on his arm might even be an eagle. I think it's an eagle, actually. I'm really drawn to the idea of the far sight that hawk or eagle or falcon, whatever, has when it's up in the air. And this is clarified by the Death card. The Spirit is bringing in transformation. It is bringing in change. So 10th house stuff, that could be great and quite dramatic. 4th house stuff, that's changes within the home and new offers coming into the home. And maybe there is something that you are trying to wish into being or manifest into being, or that you're just basically 3D communal garden working towards to bring into being, that is affecting the home life. And I think you're going to get everything that you ask for. But is it all that? Now, this depends. We have here from the Enchanted Map Oracle, intention card. So there is an element of how spiritual and how high intentioned whatever it is that you're trying to bring into being really is. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Wands indicating messages coming in. I was getting that sort of level up feeling from it, which I'd normally associate with the Page of Pentacles. But the Page of Wands is curious and dances. But this is then followed by the Three of Swords on the Clarification deck, which, with that Death card, and the facts from the Fallen Angel Oracle, we got two cards, and we start with Fornius with honesty. There's this sense that honesty is required, which again relates to what your original goal that you are trying to bring about is. Are you being honest with yourself that this is what you want, or this is a good thing, or this is, the best path forward, what have you? Or are you being honest with yourself about the reasons why you are trying to create this thing? Because there's a huge, wide open world for you here. Right next to the Death card, we have the Angelarium card, which is Sahaquiel, the Angel of Sky, big, wide, open horizons. That the sense of the whole world. Oh, excuse me, the whole world opening up to you. Now, I'm probably making this sound more negative than it is, because this is a beautiful reading, but it's one of those readings of extremes. It is all dependent on that initial vision, because we have a new beginning coming, come what may. We've got the Ace of Coins, but this is clarified here by the Devil. Now, when I did the shuffle video, I forgot to clarify it with one of my Demon Possessed Tarot. But we've got this. So money could well be involved. Ace of Pentacles again, Lucifuge Rofakal. Gives all worldly powers and treasures, makes one rich quickly. So certainly if that's a 10th house issue, the pay rise is there, or the new job is there. Or stability and firm guidelines. I don't want to go as far as legislation, but firm guidelines within the home. Something new happening there, but you have to be using your intuition. Now, Aquarius, you're quite good at using your intuition. We've got 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Now, this card, 6th chakra, obviously brow chakra, so using your intuition there. But I want you to think of the history of Metatron was supposedly Enoch, who was elevated or evolved, transmogrified into the largest angel of all. So there's that sense of total transformation. But right next to that, we have the second fallen angel card, which is Murmur, here representing history. And again, that is what's making me think of, what was it that built you up to the point of, this is what I'm trying to create, this is why I want to create it? Because whatever you are trying to create, and all the issues that are around that, I feel that there is success here, and it's success that gets bigger. Now, if you are creating something that's of the highest intention, the greatest good of all, as well as the good of yourself, fantastic. That's a wonderful thing to get bigger. But if it's let's say a tad more selfish, or coming from a slightly injured mindset, sort of from a place of pain and hurt, rather than just this is an ace idea, we should do this sort of feeling, that's going to get bigger as well, in a way that still forces a transformation and is still very dramatic on your material world, on your 3D world. Ace of Coins and Ace of Pentacles. Remember that Lucifer's Raphael, who is the Ace of Pentacles in the Demon Possessed Tarot, is the Prime Minister of Hell. He is the one who sticks to the letter of all the contracts, and is the one who, great in business, great support in business, but he makes sure that not only was every I dotted and every T crossed, that everybody adheres to every aspect of the agreement. So there's that long-term, whatever it is you are trying to create right now has a really long-term effect. Now, that could be fantastic. That could be really, really good. It's with the Devil card being there, and although, think about Devil, it could be Capricorn energy, that you are building a fantastic structure. There's that aspect to look at it as well. But there is that aspect of constraint. There is that aspect of voluntarily holding yourself back for some reason, some pain, some hurt. And the hurt's there. We've got it, 3 of Swords on the bottom of the clarification deck. But I particularly like this 3 of Swords because in the 3 Swords, you see the Trinity, you see the Celtic knot, you see the fire underneath. There's a transmutation of pain. Oh, and we have the 2 of Cups right underneath it. So that indicates some form of good partnership by dealing with this pain, whatever that pain is. So if there's an issue that has been causing you to want to manifest a thing, sort that issue out, it'll work wonders. You may still end up manifesting the thing, but if you sorted the pain out, great, it's a good thing. Because if you still want it after sorting the pain out, then it's a good thing. But there's this both hope and fear that things could get bigger and better and more abundant fast. That is both a hope and a fear. So it is a hope as in, I want to do this and I want it to work and I want it to work really fast and go really, really well. Great. But again, if there's that element of pain, hurt, loss, lack, all those negative stuff, that I'm not saying you're going to get rid of those things, but if they are unprocessed, unhealed, unresolved, and are dictating to your intentions, rather than your intentions being something separate from those feelings, then that can also get more abundant. And I'm sorry, if there's some misery and you're going to apply abundance to misery, that just means more misery, So there's so the history thing here is really important as to the why you are trying to create. You are being blessed here. But there is also, so with this Archangel Metatron, like the using your intuition, the brow chakra, it's not just that. It's being aware. Because there are messages coming. In the future, we have the 4 of Cups coming to you. So that indicates that element of divine guidance if you listen to it. We've got the Knight of Cups that Spirit is bringing in. Some idea, some dream, some love that is being offered to you. And on the final outcome, we also have the High Priestess. But I notice it's Two of Swords, High Priestess. So the fact that it's two twos, because the High Priestess is a two, an interesting 2-2-4. There's a choice. There's a choice to be made here. So it's almost like a choice to commit, or to heal and commit, or like commit. That's could be positive or negative. Heal and commit, definitely positive. Commit without having to heal. Maybe you didn't need to heal. That's fine. Still positive. Committing to bringing something into being that comes from that place of pain, not so positive. But all in all, there's what I'm feeling from this is how you are feeling. Ace of Cups, beautiful new feeling, beautiful new dream, beautiful new love, beautiful new self-love, maybe. But you are also burdened by it. And I think the burden comes slightly from this massive amount of activity that's going on around you. It's like it's with the Eight of Wands here, it's shifting sands around you. Things are changing so very quickly, which means you can change and your world can change so very quickly, quite possibly in a good way, quite possibly in a bad way. So that there's pay attention to any messages that come to you. Four of Cups guidance, Knight of Cups presenting dreams, love, all that sort of stuff. Keep an eye on your intentions, because whatever the quality of your intentions are, that's what you're going to get back. For you, it seems like this is really, we all say that, well, that's karma, isn't it? That's how life works. And with your what do you call it, like the secret, the manifestation stuff, it's your intentions that creates your world around you, and magically you can say the same thing. But whatever your intentions are, whatever they are based on, will get bigger. So on first glance, this is a beautiful reading, but there's just this implicit warning. I'm suddenly brought to mind of the story of Midas. All he ever wanted was gold, and so he asked that anything he touched turned to gold, and he got exactly what he asked for. And we all know how well that ended up for him. So there's, I think, here, this reading is saying that, I know, again, remember what I said about Dorotheus at the start, this could be over the course of 4 years. You're going to get everything that you ask for. So just be very careful what it is you are asking for, because it could be wonderful. And it could also be an, oh my God, what have I done moment, So there's nothing more really that's springing out to me, because other people are like showing you some harsh truths, not necessarily even harsh, but insightful truths. And they are also giving you guidance in which the voice of the divine can be heard, but they're not trying to overtake your choices. Two of Wands there, whereas you've got the Ace of Wands. Because the other thing with the magician can be quite the trickster. But since it's representing you, just double check you're not deceiving yourself about something. And if you're not, great, full steam ahead. And if you are, that's unfortunate, because full steam ahead. There's, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. There's nothing else that I can see. Let's just draw an angel out of the Angel Oracle. Oh, they wanted to come out quick. So we've got Ace of Swords, so there's that clarity, represented by Umabel, God above all names elevated. Affinity and friendship, obtain the friendship of anyone. So Ace of Swords is definitely clarity. And Six of Pentacles again. Here being Eladia, the favourable god. Divine grace, cures rage and pestilence, absolves the guilty. So there may be some form of gift that when it is offered to you, you may initially see that as an obstacle rather than a benefit. Spend a lot of time in thought about that. Spend a lot of time examining that. Is it the obstacle that you think it is, or could it be the benefit that it promises to be? But whatever it is that you're asking for, you're going to get it in spades. So that's, like I say, could be a wonderfully good thing. Right, that's it. I've got nothing more for you, Aquarius, because that message is quite clear and succinct, really, isn't it? Despite the fact that I've taken, nearly 20 minutes to say it. So, do all that good YouTube stuff if you would. I'd be very grateful. So, like, share, subscribe. It does the channel no end of good. And remember that if you go ahead to watch your Moon and Rising, which I advise, there's a timestamp down below to get past my initial waffle. All right? Cheers.